What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with a Thursday edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. So a lot of people weren't happy. Oh, Eric, you didn't cover NBA. I didn't have any NBA plays last night. Didn't even want to put it on the video, mainly because then I have to talk about something and then have a lean that people don't understand how the process of this works. Again, if it's your first time tuning in, welcome. Love to have you. Leans, those are things I'm thinking about betting. They're going to be the first board that we cover at the start of this program. Then I have likes, and then locks aren't not applicable on this video. Thank God we kept it at a half unit yesterday for the Cubbies. That was really, really good stuff. But anyway, I'm definitely looking at our prize picks. Oh, yeah. Adames, he just cashed the home run there. Used the free square with the Adames home run to push it from plus 375 up to plus 550. Then ended up cashing over the people in the premium Discord, so that's good. We'll see. Anyway, overall, not my best day on Wednesday so far up to this point. Had some really good things. Went 2 for 3 there in the early portion, so 2-1 in the early portion there. Cubbies end up losing. We got the over of Cleveland, Cincinnati, so went 2 for 1 in that as well, so 2 for 3 correct in the course of that series. And of course, the Atlanta Braves just smacked that ass. So watch yourself. We ended up getting no Nick Kurtz in the lineup, so that ended up voided. So I guess we're just waiting on Andrew Benintendi to see how things finish out. I also ended up betting for a quarter unit his home run. That was in addition to Lindy's long balls once he ended up getting the scratch of Kurtz, or not even the scratch, he didn't end up in the lineup. But you can end up in the premium Discord, get all of my plays, talk about all of the things. It's really good times. Had a lot of last-second plays as lines are moving and evolving. And plus, you have access to me throughout an entire day on a day like Wednesday where I was in the premium Discord. I still am. Still hanging out. Plugged in. Probably shouldn't have done that. Producer Jacob's ready to rock, though. We got basketball to watch. Yeah, it's important. I did end up with some bets there. Miles Turner, please play well. Let's get to the picks. We begin our boarding walk with the Washington Nationals and the New York Mets. Now, only 8 games going on Thursday. Probably could have led that off, at the front end of this section. So we only have 3 official plays, but that's actually more than I normally do from a ratio perspective. Like if there's 15, I'm usually looking, trying to find 5-6 edges for you. Things that really long-term I can be profitable for you on this video. This is more than I thought I would find in 3. There's one that's a lean light because we're still waiting on the numbers to get introduced, but I know I'm going to bet it. So I might as well just give that to you to finish out the program. But let's talk through this Washington spot because I think both pitchers, I think their strikeout props might open too low. I think Senga probably opens in the 5.5 minus 110 both sides territory. And Michael Soroka, 23% K rate for the former Brave. I'm not sure what to make of a 3.7% barrel percentage. I don't think it's indicative of what's going to happen going forward. Plus, a lot of lefties to worry about. We have Soto. We've got Nimmo, both of them going yard against Jake Irvin. My guy, Brett Beatty, still waiting on you. Quarter unit, please. Although I don't think he's going to get to face him here in the 6th inning, if I had to guess. But anyway, we got the Washington money line purely because I think nearly 2-1, considering some of these advanced numbers, not good enough. And I like Senga. He's got the ghost fork. Ooh, I always like to throw that out there. But never my favorite back when it's like really pushing on the minus 200 territory. I definitely am going to be looking at the dog or pass. We got the Giants, we got the Rockies, and I want nothing to do with the Rockies here in this spot. Antonio Senzatella is so bad. And then Hayden Birdsong, it's not even that he's been decent, 24.7% K rate. I mean, it's going to come down and probably stabilize around 23-24% now that he goes from a bullpen arm into the starting position there. But the righty overall gets to face just Ryan McMahon in that lineup from the left side, more than likely. Mickey Moniak potentially at the back half of this lineup. But just one of those weird Thursday afternoon games. And we do have a play on one of the morning games. That is the 1 p.m., 10 a.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Way to go, Eric. Math and time zones. Awesomely done. Nice English, too. But San Francisco team total 6.5 probably is where it ends up if it's going to have a little plus money attached to it on the over. And then 5.5 there. I think Antonio Senzatella is just waiting to get smacked up even harder. 578 expected slugging, 414 xWOBA. How does he have a job? 7.10 expected ERA is actually worse than his 6.68 ERA. He's pitching at altitude, afternoon in Colorado. Everything looks nice for San Francisco. Going to be chalkier type play, but again, I want to see where those team totals open. The over would just be indicative of what I thought about the San Francisco Giants. Will Warren, I think his K props have been starting to stabilize in a place where I want to take some unders. It was kind of efficient there before. He's had a couple of nice outings throughout this season, but against a Kansas City team that really doesn't strike out against righties all that much, we strike out against lefties. You got a weird one, 29.4% K rate, but good hitting weather we've had here in Kansas City. I mean, New York just got after it early on against Chris Bubich, which very happy I stayed away from that under. Very, very happy. 9 was so trappy, and I'm sure a number of people fell into it. I know the public really likes their overs, but Will Warren, 50.7% hard hit, 11% walk rate. I think there's a lot of things between the hard contact and the walks that can go against that 29.4% K rate against a more patient, more kind and loving team. As long as you don't have Drew Wolters in that lineup, everybody is strikeout avoidant on the Kansas City side, which is why the 5.5 number exists. Will Warren traditionally been a little bit higher, and I'm still looking at the under. Let's talk this Mizorowski or Mizorowski fellow. I love what I saw from him. He's the number 2 Brewers prospect in the organization. And producer Jacob probably notices this. When you have a new pitcher coming to the table, especially one that isn't on like my dynasty team radar because he's not on my dynasty team, Mizorowski isn't, and I've never seen them pitch and there's no major league data, I go on a deep dive. I go onto YouTube and I generally learn how to say their damn name. But this one, I just simply had to just watch the mix. He throws it nearly 100 miles per hour. He's got a really good curveball coming off of it, and that is why he's north of a 30% K rate at AAA. I'm very curious where books open his opening number for Ks. Sometimes you just see these darlings, these highly touted prospects, and they come up and they don't necessarily have it, and it doesn't transition and move into the big league level, but I think his stuff does. Triple digits he can hit if he needs to, and a really nice break offering. The changeup needs a little work. Some of the other offerings, and then control was his big issue coming into this year, but so far so good. Just over a 2 ERA, just over a 1.05 whip. Really good stuff from him, and against a Cardinals team that brings a lot of righties to the table, I think he could have the platoon to look really good in this spot. So opening numbers, I'm going to have to do a lot of digging as far as the data goes for tomorrow and see where the public goes. I think that's one that's going to fluctuate a lot. One more lean for you here before we get to those 3 plays, 2.5 if we're being honest. The Cubbies run line. This is getting stayed away from purely because I don't trust Jameson Taillon against some of the lefties at the top of the order, specifically O'Neill Cruz, Brian Reynolds, and we're starting to see signs of life from McCutchen and Cabrian Hayes. Nice to see. Nice to see. And plus, Spencer Horwitz, 400 expected slugging. It's better than most of the crap in the Pittsburgh lineup. So, I mean, Spencer Horwitz batting cleanup traditionally against a righty there. It's just brutal weather there in Chicago, and I don't think you get highly enough variant games to really back a team on the run line like Chicago, even with as much as, run creation as they have even in adverse conditions because of the speed power combination. I'm looking at you, PCA. Can you come back to life? That'd be great. Michael Busch, he was nice to get, but the Cubbies, I do like them, but I don't like them enough at the opening number. So probably just going to be props and staying away from the rest. Will say PCA stolen bases. I haven't been running a lot of stolen base data the last couple of weeks. I think it's getting to bet territory, especially now that he hasn't been on base a couple. Pay attention to that opening number. All right, let's get to some likes, shall we? But first, premium Discord, lots of new faces, lots of great people hanging out in there. A lot of sharp people. Check it out. Lindy 5, friends. Lindy 5. That's how you get the premium Discord for just $5 for your first week. And it's $20 for your next week. Or you can jump in for $50 for the entire month. That's less than $2 a day. But right here on your screen, Lindy 5 to try it out for a week. It's less than $1 a day. I am firing up Pick'em. I am firing up bets. And it has been a ridiculous run. It had been 8 consecutive winning days in there until, well, Wednesday. We'll see. If we can get a Matt Wallner double or 2 total bases, that would make my life a lot better. And an Andrew Benintendi or Brett Beatty home run. But I doubt I get either of those at this point. A little late in the game. Speaking of, we got to get ourselves to some basketball. But Lindy 5, friends, that's where you can get my NBA plays from here going forward till the end of the season, as well as all of my updated MLB, of which they're going to test. There's a lot of it rolling in throughout the day, especially on these Wednesdays and Thursday with baseball from beginning till end. Alrighty, y'all, let's get ourselves to some likes. My Minnesota Twins hosting the Texas Rangers, and boy, has it been back and forth. Did you see the nearly 480-foot shot that we got from freaking Byron Buxton today? Hello, how's your father? Good times. Holy mother of God, that was an absolute moon ball. I've never seen a ball hit there. I've seen some hit out of the stadium Kirby Puckett, gate 34 out of right field, but I don't think I've seen it like third deck dead center before. That was absurd from Byron Buxton. But, I think I did see. No, we're not going to even go there. You don't care. I don't care either. We're going to get ourselves to a play. Weather is terrible in Minnesota tomorrow. Awful, terrible, horrible, no good. First thing that I saw, 65 degrees. It's been really cool in the Minneapolis area, and somebody's familiar with that. It probably means storms are rolling in, and you definitely looked at the weather in the morning. Well, rain from beginning till end. I don't think this game starts on time, if we're going to be completely honest. And it's one that I was kind of not worried about here on Wednesday, but definitely had tempered interest in some of the hitting props. Ended up on Matt Wallner over 1.5 total bases. Got nearly plus 150 on it. Had to take a stab at that one for sure, but I hope everybody goes under here in this one. And it's Patrick Corbin on the mound. The guy has nearly a 4 expected ERA. I mean, I never thought we'd see Patrick Corbin competent ever again. But even with just a 17.3% K rate, he's limiting contact, 35.8% hard hit, and a 7.2% walk rate. Also, he pitches from the left side, which is an advantage, I believe, against the Twins going forward, because you kind of neutralize what you're getting from Matt Wallner, Cody Clemens, both of them probably not even in the lineup. You'll get Willie Castro, you'll get Brooks Lee, you'll get Royce Lewis, you'll get those fellas. I don't think they have nearly as much upside as what we got from the Clemens and Wallner side against righties, but that's not either here nor there. What is Bailey Ober I'm actually looking at backing, because fly ball pitcher doesn't apply nearly as much in these kind of conditions. So I'm paying close attention to it. You should be paying close attention to it. The weather tomorrow, that's why I like myself the under. Plus, in-game delay, it becomes a bullpen game. That's always advantageous towards your under. Under 8.5, minus 115, the prevailing number. A little juicier than most, but I like it. This one I really like too, and I'm not a huge run line guy. I think you've probably noticed that. It's something that I noticed in my data last year, where some of these numbers are not indicative of what the true odds are. Now, it's easier for me to sit there and to project out games because you're doing a probability, you're graphing it out. If you have questions, I know CS Berg in the premium Discord had asked me about that. I'll get to you over the weekend. I told you that I would, so shout out you. But good people, pick 'em people. But Detroit taking on Baltimore here in this one. And I do think the run line is the most interesting thing to back here. It's Tariq Skubal. It's Tariq Skubal, and we're getting a minus 110 just because it's on the road. Now, they did move the fences back in slightly over in left field. That's going to make it a little bit worse for these lefties going forward as they go into Baltimore, but still a better than average park for left-handed pitching, for power given up to the right side. In Baltimore, they can stack their lineups completely left or completely right, depending on what they're looking for. In this case, against Skubal, doesn't really matter. He's going to miss a lot of bats. He has crazy amount of upside. He's been the best pitcher in baseball. Everything is dumb. He has a 2.2% walk rate. 2.2%. So he strikes out everybody. He gives up no hard contact. He walks nobody, and your pets' heads are falling off. And Dean Kramer is terrible. 274 expected batting average, 16.8% K rate, although he probably is your highest upside arm right now on this current roster without Grayson Rodriguez healthy. I think he's going to be coming back soon, I hope. But 4.30 expected ERA. It's actually better than his 4.98 ERA, but it's simply knowing that you're going to have to face a lot of lefty power and Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, so on and so forth. So Detroit, run line, minus 110. I'd be having this at minus 125 at the same number. And that's 15 cents of CLV, or in my own head. It's not even CLV. It's just 15 cents that I'm projecting. Good times. You want to talk more market-based things? Well, Portfolio EV is how you can do that. And Lindy 1, so we have Lindy 5 for the Discord. Lindy 1 at the link below, the first link that exists down there in the video description box below. That is going to be where you find Portfolio EV. That is the best tool in the entire betting industry when it comes to market-based betting. And you can get it for 2 weeks for free. Try it out. Jump in the Discord. Water's warm. Lindy 1. I repeat, Lindy 1 down at the link below. Would love to have you guys in there. Greg Ehrenberg, G Ehrenberg DFS, Nathan Joyce, ND_Joyce over on X. Check out their profiles as well, giving you free bets from Portfolio EV on the daily. And then, well, come try it out for yourself with all of the sports books you have accessible to you in states across the country. Alrighty, y'all, let's get to the picks. One more pick. Let's cover it. Hit that like button for me as well. I mean, I know it's going to be a sub 20-minute video, shorter than normal, but only 8 games that exist on the card. And yeah, this one's so straightforward. The White Sox taking on Houston. There are a lot more strikeouts available for this White Sox lineup against lefties. There's going to be more because Tim Elko up there with a 32.1% K rate. Austin Slater, maybe 30.4% K rate. Michael A. Taylor, 35.2%. Luis Robert, 31.2% higher up in the order today, batting fifth. I think you want to pounce, jump on some version of a Framber Valdez ladder. I do think his number opens at 6.5, juiced heavily towards the over. I might even just start the bidding at 7.5 if it's plus money towards the over. Very curious to see where books open this one, but I'm so interested in the ladder. I'm so interested, and I have a feeling that I'm going to be backing him in any capacity in this smaller ballpark, that I'm just going to put in the lean light category for you, just to touch base on the White Sox side of things. Davis Martin, not very good. Going to be an absolute beanbag chair. Some of these pull guys, I mean, we're seeing like plus 280 now for Christian Walker daily. That's going to be untouchable. Framber Valdez is very touchable. That was creepy. We're not going to say that anymore. Framber Valdez up to 8 strikeouts. I do think there's room for more. Want to see the opening numbers, though, first. And that does it for a quick and easy edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for this lovely slate we have before us. So little time to jump in the Discord. Jump in, Lindy 5. It's still just $5 for a week. We got so many new people in there. I really enjoy to have you because, well, you make the community run, and a lot of people that are hanging out there that I love the information being shared. I love people going back and forth, sweating the bets again. Wednesday wasn't my best day, that is for sure, but all the live long day, we were sweating together, updating together, talking through a process. I love it. Jump in, Lindy 5. Alrighty, y'all, let's get out of here. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Thursday.